In the heart of ancient Canaan stood a city feared for its towering walls, Jericho. A fortress of stone, wealth, and ruthless pride. A city that seemed untouchable. And tucked into the very edge of those mighty walls lived a woman who had been forgotten by her own people. Her name was Rahab, a woman known only by her profession, a label society would never let her escape. Rahab, the prostitute. But this is not a story about shame. This is a story about courage, about faith blooming in the most unlikely of places, about how one woman, broken and dismissed, became a hero in the grand story of God.
Rahab lived at the fringe of Jericho, physically and socially. Her home was built into the city wall, a place where traders and travelers passed through, where secrets breathed through every crack in the stone. She had heard the whispers of Israel's God, how he split the Red Sea, how he rescued slaves from the mightiest empire on earth, how kingdoms trembled when this God moved. And though she lived in a land filled with idols, something deep within her stirred. Their God is real. Their God is powerful. Faith began in Rahab not through sermons, but through rumors, through stories of a God who fought for the oppressed, a God who saw the broken, a God she longed to believe in.
One evening, 2 Israelite spies entered Jericho. There were strangers, nervous, cautious, out of place. And Jericho was not kind to intruders. But Rahab recognized them instantly. She saw fear in their eyes and destiny in their arrival. When the king's men came searching for the spies, Rahab had a choice: hand these men over and earn favor, or hide them and risk her life. But sometimes the most courageous decisions come from those who have nothing left to lose. Rahab hid them beneath stalks of flax on her rooftop, and when the soldiers demanded their whereabouts, Rahab sent them on a false trail, protecting the very men her city wanted dead. This single act changed everything. Later that night, Rahab went to the men she saved. Candles flickered. The desert wind whispered through the cracks of her home. She looked at these strangers, not with fear, but with a truth rising inside her. I know that the Lord has given you this land. Your God is God in heaven above and on the earth beneath. This was more than belief. This was allegiance, a turning point, a rebirth. Rahab, the prostitute, became Rahab, the believer. And then she made a request, one drenched in fear and hope. When your God gives you this city, spare me, spare my family. The spies agreed. Her salvation would hang from her window, a simple scarlet cord, a thread of hope, a symbol of faith. Days later, Israel surrounded Jericho. They marched, they blew trumpets, they obeyed God's strange commands. And then, the walls of Jericho broke. Stone crumbled, dust rose, The fortress collapsed like sand. But in the midst of destruction, one section of the wall remained standing: Rahab's home. The scarlet cord fluttered in the wind like a banner of grace, and Rahab's entire family, those she gathered under her roof, were saved. From prostitute to protector, outcast to survivor, a forgotten woman to a daughter of Israel.
Rahab didn't just escape death, she was woven into Israel's story. She married Solomon, an Israelite. She became the mother of Boaz, grandmother of Obed, ancestor of King David. And generations later, in a small town called Bethlehem, a child was born from her lineage. His name was Jesus. Rahab, once known only for her sin, became a pillar in the lineage of salvation itself. Her past didn't disqualify her. God used it as a stage for His glory.
Rahab's identity wasn't defined by her mistakes. Her story reminds us that God sees beyond labels and uses the unlikely to accomplish the extraordinary. Faith can begin with even a whisper of truth. Rahab didn't witness miracles firsthand. She only heard about them, yet she believed. Faith begins where the heart decides to trust. Courage often comes from the broken. Rahab risked everything for what she believed. True courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. Salvation is found in choosing God, even when the world stands against you. Rahab turned her back on her city, her culture, and her old life because she recognized the power of God. One decision changed her future forever. God redeems stories the world throws away. Rahab is proof that no life is too stained, no past too dark, no person too forgotten for God to rewrite into something beautiful.
In the rubble of Jericho, Rahab stood as a living testament to grace. A woman once broken by circumstance, rebuilt by faith. A symbol of God's mercy, wrapped in a scarlet cord. Her story whispers to us today: you are more than where you came from. You are more than what people call you. And you are never too far for God to redeem. Rahab's life is more than history. It is hope, alive, enduring, and still speaking.
And if Rahab's story moved you, if her courage, her faith, and her redemption spoke to something deep within you, then don't let this journey end here. Support this channel by liking this video, sharing it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribing for more powerful biblical stories brought to life. Your engagement helps these stories reach more hearts, more homes, and more people searching for meaning. Like, share, subscribe, and join us as we continue uncovering the timeless lessons hidden within Scripture.